Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Community Works. I'm Bernadette Welsh, your host. Our shows highlight local organizations in the community, nonprofit agencies. Our goal is to educate you, our viewers, about the great work that's going on all around us every day by local agencies and their supporters. When people help their neighbors, everybody benefits. Well, I am so thrilled. Today's show is going to be a wonderful, lighthearted revelation about the organization called the Whitney Players. So, when you were a little kid, did you like to play make-believe? Did you want to be somebody other than yourself? When you grew up, did you wish you could still do it? Well, guess what? With the Whitney Players, you can. So, I'm going to welcome my guest today, Jennifer Bonfiglio, who is the assistant director. She does the costumes, she does the stage management for the organization. She's taking the place of the founder, Cindy, who are feeling a little under the weather today. So Jennifer's going to take over for her. And I know you're going to do a great job, Jennifer. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. So, for those that don't know, even though I had a little lighthearted fun with your organization, what is the mission of the Whitney Players? How did it get started?
Well, the Whitney Players started in about 2003. It got its nonprofit status. It was started by 4 women, and they wanted to bring the arts to the community and involve as many people as possible and all ages. So the basis of our theater company is, it's really sweet and it's really nice. It's very family oriented. A lot of times during our shows, we'll have families that are in the show together. So we'll have either fathers and daughters or mothers and daughters or sons and brothers and sisters. So it's great. And our mission is basically, aside from educating about the arts, the younger kids, when we do our all ages show, get to learn from the more experienced actors. And our older actors are wonderful in taking a lot of them under their wing, and sometimes we even learn stuff from the little ones as well.
So you have a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you always do musicals, or do you do comedy sometimes, or anything serious? What's the range of what you perform?
We do a lot of different things, and we have a lot of different performances. We usually do 3 shows throughout the year.
Okay.
We have a summer program, a summer theater program, which is a 2-week camp. The kids, that ranges in age from about 4 or 5 to around 17 years old.
Okay.
And we've had as many as 110 kids, and they learn a whole entire musical in 8 days.
Oh my goodness, how can you all learn a musical?
They do. It's amazing what these kids can do. It's absolutely amazing. And they do the singing, the dancing, the acting, the costumes, everything. It's a full production, and these kids, all ages, do it in 8 days, and then they do 2 performances on that final Saturday of the second week.
Do moms and dads help out a little bit with that costume stuff?
Actually, we do. Sometimes we rent them. Sometimes it's things that we have in storage. But normally when they come, we costume them as well. So yeah, they get the whole package when they come.
So do people have to apply or audition to become part of the Whitney Players? How does it work? How do you get to become a Whitney Player?
Well, depending on the time of year, we do a lot of different things. So we do run year-round. We don't just do the one show. The summer camp runs for a couple weeks in the summer. Then we do our all-ages summer show, which is coming up. We have auditions for that coming up very shortly. That's going to be Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh, that's always a good show.
Yeah, great show, and super family-oriented.
Yes.
It's a very large ensemble show.
Mm-hmm.
We also like to teach our kids that it's much of an importance to be a part of the ensemble as it is to be a lead. Mm-hmm. And with a show like Joseph, a lot of the teenagers, and they always want to be the star, and and who doesn't?
Yes, everybody wants to be the star.
Absolutely. But with a show like Joseph, there's so many. There's brothers and wives, and there are a few leads, and there's the narrators. Yes. But it's a really great show to do with families and to give people a sense of, wow, no matter what part I have, it's super important.
Yes.
So we do have auditions for that. And then we do workshops. So Cindy and I teach workshops throughout the year. We do a set of fall workshops. We do winter workshops and spring workshops. And those culminate in different types of performances.
Okay. So for the workshop, are you teaching acting techniques? Mm-hmm. Okay, so...
We have we offer many different things. So we offer a movement class sometimes. lessons.
Yes.
We do a musical minis class, which is the younger kids that maybe don't want to sing solo yet, but we'll put them in a group.
Yes.
And if they're a little bit braver, we'll maybe give them a couple solo lines, and then I give them some choreography and they perform that. We do monologues, so they are getting acting,
Yes.
whether it's dramatic or comedic. And we also do musical workshops as well, where they can work on a song for a few weeks. So in the fall, when we do our workshops, we end up doing a holiday bazaar.
Okay, so they get to show off what they've
Absolutely.
learned. Yeah, they
Yep.
get to show off what
And
they
that's
learned,
great
yeah.
because that's a free event, and we have vendors that come, and throughout the evening there's tables set up, and we have local crafters and vendors selling all kinds of stuff, and then the kids do their performance,
Yeah.
and they get to show their parents what they learned over the course of the workshops.
Excellent.
So that's nice. Then we also have winter and spring workshops as well, and our spring workshops are the ones we just had the cabaret for.
Okay, yeah, you were telling me about the cabaret.
Yep,
Yeah.
and that's one of our biggest fundraisers. But the kids work on a musical theater piece or an ensemble number, and some of them do solos, some duos, and then they perform it in a big cabaret. So the younger kids get their own cabaret in the spring.
That's great. So in other words, if somebody wanted to support the organization, you'd come to the cabaret, and then
Yep.
they would say, yay, and here's some money to support the
Yep,
wonderful
absolutely.
things
Well,
that
we
you
sell
do.
tickets to that because
Yeah.
it's a catered dinner.
Oh, okay.
So they
It's a
get to
catered
eat a
dinner,
full
yeah.
dinner. We have a huge raffle where some of our parent volunteers and some of our committee members, we donate different baskets. So
Okay.
you may come and you may win a Keurig, or you may
Yeah.
win an air fryer, or for the kids, we just had some Squishmallow baskets and things. And, and they buy raffle tickets, and then we do a huge raffle throughout the evening as well to raise money. So you don't have to be in the show in order to come and participate and help donate.
That's a great idea, because not everybody has the gumption to get up and perform.
Mm-hmm.
But to support the organization like that, I think that's awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And that leads me to another question. So, why is community theater, or the Whitney Players' way of promoting the arts, a benefit to the larger community? Obviously, everybody that's in there is having a good time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're learning things. But how does that benefit the wider community? Could you talk to that a little bit, Jennifer?
Well, I think it's super important to educate people on the arts. I don't think people realize how important it is. I can use two of my kids as examples, and I won't name names, but it's so beneficial to have that outlet. And I don't think, if people think, I'm going to see a show, they want to be up there and they're on stage and they're singing and dancing and they want to be in the spotlight. A lot of these kids are so different off of stage than they are on stage. And we've had kids come to us that maybe having trouble in school, or maybe they're feeling like they're alone in school, or they're very, very, very shy, and they sign up and they come in and they're like, oh my God, what did my mother sign me up for?
Yeah,
And then it's so wonderful for us to see the progress of the kids, because they're coming out of their shell and they're like, wait, I do fit in here. This is something that I like. And, maybe it's not offered at their school. Unfortunately, these are the first things that are cut.
Absolutely.
The arts are
That's
always cut. And, sports, granted, very important, and exercise is very important, but not everybody is cut out for that. And I think a lot of people need a way to express themselves. So we're offering something to the community that they may not be able to get in their schools, and this goes for adults as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, we have so many adults that maybe they haven't participated in the show, but you're having a horrible day, and you just got terrible news, and you're having a rotten time, and then you come and you sit and you see a show where you're looking at this community come together, all ages, all races, all walks of life, different towns, and they're doing something together, and they're enjoying themselves, and they're giving their gift back to the audience. And they are, the audience is just sitting there and receiving it. And maybe for that hour and a half, or maybe for that 2 hours, they're forgetting what's going on outside those doors. They're not hearing horrible stories on the news.
Yep.
They're not going home to, a broken home, or, anything. Maybe they lost their job. Maybe they're ill. For those 2 hours, they're escaping. So as much as it is an escape for us and another persona that we take on, and we're doing something that we love, we're also giving a gift back to them.
I couldn't agree with you more. I
Yeah.
couldn't agree with you more. There is so much out there in the world right now, Jennifer, that is really depressing and scary. And our kids and even older folks do need a way to get away from that.
Absolutely.
And to express yourself is like a gift. It's a gift. And so I couldn't agree with you more, but I'm so glad that you were able to articulate that for our viewers.
Yeah.
Because people think, oh, well, they're just putting on a show for themselves. No, it's for everybody. It just incorporates so much.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And,
good.
you know, so it's not only helping the people in the show maybe come out of their shell, maybe, you know, feeling like they have a place to belong, you know. Back to the kids, we've gotten letters not only from parents, but from the kids saying, you have no idea, their grades in school have gone up. Wow. Because they're like, all of a sudden they're part of something, you know, and maybe it's an incentive. Well, if I do really well on this test, I can take another class, or I can audition for that show if I keep my grades up, you know, and they want to be a part of this community because they feel they have somewhere to belong. And, you know, we always teach our kids before every show that they have to offer it up.
Yes.
So you're not doing it for you. You're offering it up to somebody else. So before every show, everybody gets together and they've done their vocal warm-ups and they're in hair and they're in makeup and they're running around and they're excited. And then they take a moment. And as long as it takes, everybody gets a turn to offer it up if they want to. And sometimes there's tears and there's a lot of hugging, and it just promotes more of the community and more of the, you know, you really know where somebody's coming from. Because maybe you didn't know that somebody just lost somebody in their family. But they offer that show up for them, and it means more for them because they're giving back, you know. So it's super important. So people don't really understand what goes on behind the scenes a lot of the times, and it's very important.
And I think that a lot of people don't understand that building self-confidence through a performance carries over to, like you were saying, school and their relationships with other people. Because when you're feeling self-confident, you know you have a skill.
Right.
What's better than that?
Yeah.
Right? Because some kids are good in sports, and other kids are really good. They're like the A plus kids in the class. And some parents have lots of money and they go on adventures. But now here's something that these kids have.
Absolutely.
That build their self-confidence and that they can give back and just to feel good about themselves.
Yeah. And, you know, it does prepare them for the future as well, because, you know, you have to remember we're in such a technological age right now. Where,
tell me about it.
You know, I mean, I work at a school, so kids are writing how they text. You know, they're not writing anymore. Excuse me.
And that's a whole other subject.
Well, that's a whole other thing. But, you know, they're learning public speaking. They're learning how to project. They're learning how to make their voice heard. Sorry. So, you know, it does give them the confidence to do that.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. Okay, so now Cindy asked me to make sure that we talked about how you nice folks managed during the 2 years of COVID. She said she wanted definitely for everybody in the community to know how that happened or how you managed.
Right.
So I know we forgot the water. Oh,
we did forget the water.
We forgot the water. It's okay, but we'll take it nice and slow. But how did that work out? That was 2 long years.
It was 2 very long years, and it was actually devastating because we were closed. I'm losing my voice. I'm sorry. We were closed down on our last dress rehearsal before one of our productions opened.
Wow.
And so the kids got through the dress rehearsal, and we had to tell them at the end of the night they weren't opening the next day.
Awful.
It was devastating. And people don't realize, you know, companies that sell stuff, they can go on, you know, you can continue other jobs. But a theater company that's dealing in person with people, with the public, what do you do?
I don't know what you do.
So we did a lot of... Thank you so much.
There you go. My wonderful director, Victor, got us some water so that we could survive. You do this show.
I know, I had...
I was just going to say.
Yeah. So we had to get creative.
Yes.
Because, you know, not only did we want the company to survive, we didn't want to let our kids down.
Oh, no.
And, you know, it's so, I do get emotional thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
As hard as it was for adults to stay inside and not do what they're used to do and be nervous and be anxious, you have to think about these kids. And we, again, needed these kids to have an outlet, and we needed them to have a sliver of normalcy.
Yeah.
So we got creative, and we normally, like I said, would have done the camp. we rented a tent and we did a 10 to 12 person camp in Cindy's backyard.
Wow, what a great idea.
And we went through sanitation and separating the chairs and, no hugging and, everything. But those kids came every day and we kept them the whole day like they were at camp. And we worked on monologues. We played theater games with them. I mean, at one point I was tie-dyeing masks with them that we had imprinted with our logo. It was,
That's great.
And we just were like, we're going to do this and we're going to get through this. And we did our camp, and much smaller scale, 100%. Was there an audience? No.
Yeah.
But we filmed it.
We filmed it.
We
Yeah,
filmed
you filmed
it.
it.
We
Great.
filmed
You
it, and we
filmed
did
it.
make it available to the parents, which was fun. Normally, we would have had our summer show, so we did a Zoomsicle.
You did a Zoomsicle? Oh, it's hysterical.
We did a Zoomsicle. It was called the Big 1-0, and it was very difficult. Doing anything with music on Zoom is insane.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not just one-on-one.
Yeah. The
So that was kind of fun. So I was teaching them the dance through the computer, and they were trying to, we sent the music to them electronically, and Cindy and I drove around and dropped off envelopes at people's houses with props in them, with costume pieces, with CDs. So we left on everybody's doorstep.
You took the show on the road.
We took it on the
show
road
to them.
and then we would meet every week, and that. It didn't just save the kids, it basically saved us. Like, we looked forward to, we're going to be with these kids online.
Yep.
These are our kids. And so we did a Zoomsicle, and we actually had a former, once you're a Whitney player, you're always a Whitney player. But he's in New York now. His name is Kevin Downing. So he's actually a producer in New York.
Wow.
And he produced it for us. So we had top quality because he did all the editing for us.
Yeah.
And the kids were recording themselves at home, doing the different dances, and then because it had to be in their own box, and he edited for us, and they would play the music behind them so that it would match, and and we did it.
You did it.
And we did the same thing with our spring workshops. It would have culminated in a great in-person cabaret with dinner and raffle, and we filmed it in Cindy's backyard. And I decorated it with curtains behind the kids, and we had flowers, and we had our sound man, Fred from Horizon Sound, came in, and he did all of our sound. So we had microphones and sanitized the mic in between each kid.
Of course you had to do that.
We filmed it outside. Regardless of the airplanes and the birds and everything that only flew by.
Or maybe the fire engines.
Yes, motorcycles that only went by when the kids were about to sing.
Of course.
But it was great. And, we were able to do that. And we even did our adult holiday cabaret. We filmed it.
Wow.
We rented a hall. They came individually. We gave them like 15-minute increments. And that actually was one of our best cabarets ever, because we were able to have people that have gone on to do Broadway, that have moved out of state, that are across the country.
You could film it because they were all over.
They were able to send stuff. So kids, adults and kids that hadn't worked with us or hadn't been in person with us in a while were able to send stuff in. And we did online raffle, and I dressed up like an elf, and I was pulling tickets on the computer, But we made it fun, and luckily with the support of our Whitney players, and we were able to get through it. So we took a big hit.
Okay.
And we are still trying to fundraise to come back from it, but we kept the theater company going.
Very good.
And we were still available.
Okay, so before we forget, now our wonderful Victor, our director, is going to show some photos of some of your amazing shows.
Okay.
And you're going to be able to tell us what we're looking at.
Absolutely.
So what do we see here, Jennifer?
Oh, this is Anything Goes. This is where we did Anything Goes. That's Rochelle. A bunch of our sailors in there. That's a great show. Super fun show. Yep.
And obviously, and and
Shrek.
Shrek.
Okay, actually that's Rochelle again playing Fiona. That's J.K. He's the wolf. I see David Nunner in between Shrek, and Rick Ribko is Shrek there, and we have all of our characters. those costumes were, we rented them all. So
You
that
rented
was,
them all, yeah.
yes, that was quite an array of costumes.
Very good. And what's this?
Oh gosh, this is West Side Story. This is one of Cindy's favorite shows, actually. Very, very moving show. A lot of, I'm looking at everybody in here. Lynady, actually, who was in this show, is on Broadway right now.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
and she's done more than one show on Broadway, and she's currently on Broadway, and she was in our West Side.
Cool. And
Oh, Beauty and the Beast. So this is Beauty and the Beast. So you're looking at Belle and some of the villagers. It's one of our opening scenes.
cool.
Oh, Ava. Okay. This is Seussical.
Seussical?
Seussical the musical. These kids, this is an older photo. So these are all of our kids that are actually graduating college, some of them right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, and Austin is in college. Ava is in high school right now. She just actually finished playing Mrs. Potts in her school's Beauty and the Beast.
There you go.
Which is pretty funny because she was in our Beauty and the Beast at a much younger age as well.
Yeah, they grow up with you. And now?
That's another picture of West Side.
Yep.
Yep. That is that's Gabe and Vin and oh my gosh.
Yep. And
that was West Side again. Yep, that was the one from before.
Okay, do we? Oh.
Ah.
Oh, no, I think you told me the lady in the sky is you.
Well, the lady in the sky is me. This was The Wizard of Oz. This show, oh my God, what a role. I would play that again in a second if offered. This show was just wonderful. We actually had two casts in this show. So we had two Dorothys. We had a couple different parts that were double cast, which is great. This show, I was flying. So flying is done by Foy, which is super, super expensive, which is why fundraising is so important.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Not only that, but you're also looking at projections.
Yeah.
So that's not a backdrop. This was one of the first shows we did with projections. A little bit crazy to direct that way.
Yes.
Because when you do, what people don't realize is we don't work with these projections until we get into the space the week of the show.
Wow. So yeah.
So you know, while in one sense those are expensive as well. You're not using as many set pieces, but the ones you may have to move once you realize what it looks like with the background.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
very interesting. Okay,
very
that's
cool.
great. And I love this picture.
Okay, so this is Hairspray.
Yes, of course it's Hairspray.
That's Hairspray. That's Isaiah pushing the cart. That's actually Rick, who you saw green as Shrek, is actually playing Edna.
Yes.
And this is actually interesting. This set was a $95,000 set.
That somebody donated.
That one of our parents, he's also a stage manager with me backstage. He helps me out a lot, and so do his kids. I mean, his kids are also performers in the shows. He drove across the country to Wisconsin and rented a truck. And this father, who is a huge supporter of the Whitney Players, picked that set up and drove it back.
No kidding.
So
How
we were
wonderful
able
is that?
to have this set, which was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, from the 12-foot tall Hairspray can that Edna jumps out of at the end, just amazing. And we were very, very lucky that Dave Maruka drove across for us.
And it shows the kind of commitment that you have from the people that love you.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, this is the latest and the greatest, right?
That was our latest show. This was The Addams Family. This was our most recent that we just did last summer. Also double cast as well. So we had two Morticias, two Gomez. We had two Wednesdays. Both casts were absolutely phenomenal. That's J.K. in the back as Lurch.
Oh, I love it.
He was the wolf that you saw in Shrek.
Yeah.
And Austin, who you saw as the mayor in Seussical, was in it as well. So this show was absolutely a hoot. Done with projections.
Yes, I could see that from the background, yeah.
But this show also had, in addition, a lot of set pieces. There were very, very interesting things that we were able to do with this show. Actually, Dave, who drove and got our set, he was the hand that came out of the table and sword fighted. Both of us were actually under a bed at one point because this monster came out from under the bed.
Yeah.
So we crawled out with the bed in the dark and laid under there for the whole scene and made
Oh
like the
my
legs.
goodness, I don't think I could do that. So God bless you for
We're
that.
a very close family.
Yeah, really close.
Yep. So,
Okay, I think that does it for the pictures.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're back again chatting. So thank you for showing all those fabulous
Absolutely.
pictures. Who could not want to be a part of the Whitney Players?
Great,
Even
great
to buy
memories.
tickets and go and see a show.
absolutely, absolutely.
So you're you're going to rehearse.
Yes, we're having auditions are coming up for Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat,
Yes.
open to everybody, all towns, all ages.
Wow.
Anybody can come. The date, I'm not sure. We're actually trying to secure a location.
Yes.
So that is going to be posted on the whitneyplayers.org.
Yep.
It will be on our website, and
Excellent.
we're also on Facebook. So
Of course.
as soon as we have our audition date for that, that will be posted, and we definitely need a lot of people, and it's great. Everybody's welcome to come.
I love
So we're not turning anybody away.
Oh, I see. That's
Yeah.
that's so sweet because people think, oh, I'm not good enough.
Oh,
They won't
absolutely not.
take me.
No.
It's not. So if you say, look, if you want to be a part of this, we will find something for
Oh,
you to
absolutely,
do.
absolutely.
And what's better than that?
Yeah, no, everybody. It's all inclusive. Everybody is welcome. It doesn't matter. Like I said, our youngest on stage was 4 months old
Okay.
at one point. So
Okay, so my Victor is telling me we're running out of time. So
Okay.
let's take a look at the Hamden Fest slide.
Absolutely.
Real quick. Can we see that?
Yep.
So what are you doing real quick, Jennifer? What are we doing at Hamden
So
Fest?
the Hamden Fest is a great place so you can see some of our talent. We are going to have a booth there from 11 to 4 on June 11th. It's at Hamden Town Center, and some of our Whitney Players will be performing between the time slot of 1 to 2:30.
Excellent. And now if people want to donate, learn more about the Whitney Players, we have the website
The
information.
website, absolutely.
Right there.
There
Okay.
it is, yep.
So everybody, the Whitney Players,
Yep.
2653 Dixwell Avenue in Hamden. There is that all-important website. Go there.
Yep.
Go there.
And there is a donate button and how to support us on there as well.
Absolutely, because how can they do these wonderful shows without the donate button?
Absolutely,
Without
absolutely.
the donate button.
Every little bit helps.
So think about it. There's lots of opportunities for you to support the Whitney Players. Go to the website, learn about the Whitney Players. You saw the wonderful enthusiasm of my guest, Jennifer, who is everything and just a wonderful lady. We're having so much fun. We really wanted to talk about why you don't eat vegetables, but we can't do that now.
That's another day.
That's another day. All right. So I guess, am I out of time, Victor? Another minute. Oh, he says we could go for another minute.
Oh, what should we talk about?
What should we talk about? Okay, so for just 30 seconds,
Okay.
a special story, Jennifer, a special story, somebody that did something that touched your heart.
I recently had a girl perform in the cabaret who I known since she was very, very small because I happen to be friends with her mother and her aunt. Her aunt is actually my best friend. And my kids always make me cry when they're successful when they perform, but she is very nervous and never liked to sing solo. And she's had parts in our shows, but it's different because she's playing a character.
Yeah.
But when you're doing a cabaret, you're yourself.
Yes.
And she got up there and she took her mask down and she sang solo at our last cabaret and was absolutely phenomenal. And I
What
could
did she
not.
sing?
She sang the song "Nothing" from a chorus line, which I'm a
Yes.
huge fan.
Yes, I
and
love the
she
show.
100% rocked it and just did a great job. And I was so proud that she took that leap and she did it. And she was wonderful.
There you
she
go.
was absolutely wonderful, and we knew she was wonderful.
Yeah, but now
it was
she knows
knew.
that she
so
was
now that
wonderful.
she knows, that was super important.
Okay, now Victor says we can wrap it up.
Okay.
Okay. So again, thank you, Jennifer, for being on the show. We so appreciate it. Our best to Cindy. Please send her our
Absolutely,
love.
she was sorry she couldn't be here.
Yeah, and I'm sorry too, but you did a great job.
Thank you for having
very
us.
Much. And think about it. Supporting local theater is a way of giving back to your community. It's about helping children enrich their lives and feel good about themselves. And we need our kids involved in positive activities. We can't have them sitting there playing video games. So, I'm Bernadette Welsh for Community Works. Thank you for watching. And when people help their neighbors, everybody benefits.